Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 3 speed build, and this time we're tuning up a car which actually grew on me over time to some degree, the Ferrari California. In particular though, this is the California T, one of the relatively few Ferraris to be turbo aspirated, as is indicated by the name, and although it's a very capable performance car, it's one of those cars which, funnily enough, a lot like other Ferrari Tourers like the 550 or the 575 or even the 612 Scaglietti, when that's featured on games, it tends to get kind of overlooked. Now that's not overly surprising. People don't really go to Ferrari for grand Tourers, they go for hardcore track cars and supercars. But that being said, they are surprisingly capable against cars which technically should leave them in the weeds, really, given the luxury aspect, the increased weight that they have. Now this one is a very capable car. As far as the engine, I'd recommend the V10 with over 1200 horsepower to work with. As far as the drivetrain, of course I would recommend all-wheel drive, as always. You don't have to fit it, but I would recommend it. For the aspiration, you want the twin turbo to get the best power out of that engine. For the visuals, of course, that's down to you as to what rims you use. If you want the front and rear wing, I would not recommend having it because it's just not necessary for straight line performance. And for the rest, increase everything you can, basically. Increase the power, fit as many racing parts as you can, lower the weight, that kind of thing. And then for the tuning side of things, which of course is the way to unlock that potential, this tune is on my storefront, incidentally. You can use the keywords down below to find it. But for the numbers, as I said, it's pretty strong. In fact, the acceleration in particular is surprisingly strong for a car like this. 1.9 to 60, 3.9 to 100, and 262 flat out. So although the top end speed isn't quite as quick as, say, some of the other Ferraris like an F355 or a Scuderia, it's not bad, not at all, especially for a front-engine GT-style Ferrari. That's more than capable enough of going up against Aston Martins, for instance, some of the Jaguar GT cars. In other words, its main rivals. Now, as far as the gearbox, I'd recommend a 3.3 final drive, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.95 and 0.79. Then as far as alignment, we've got neutral camber, neutral toe, 5 degrees of caster, excuse me, anti-roll we've got on 24 and 23, springs on 180, 226, and the lowest possible ride height. You don't have to go as low as possible, you can have it higher if you want to. Dampers we've got on 13, 15, 6 and 7, aero of course doesn't apply, and for the diff we've got 100% on acceleration, 0 on decel, and for this particular car an 80% bias toward the back end, which is a little bit higher than I'd often do. I often go for 70 to 75, so if you want to go down to that, then you can, whereas this version is what you'll get if you choose the storefront version. So either way, let's see on the road what it can do. Now, as far as performance goes, a GT long-distance exotic isn't most people's first choice of that kind of vehicle. As I said earlier, you'd typically go for more mid-engine, hardcore, track-focused Ferrari like a Scuderia or like a 360 Challenge. But, although I'm not going to say that this is as good or certainly not better than those cars for sheer speed, it is not bad at all. In a straight line, it's fantastic. And one of the main advantages of more of a GT Tourer style car like this one is that the handling is much smoother, which lends itself towards being more beginner friendly and also better for longer races. So for instance, over the course of something like Goliath, this car is far easier to drive than something like a hardcore track focused machine. So if that appeals to you, certainly give the car a look in either the T form or the normal form. And of course, if you enjoy using this tune for it, there are hundreds more to check out here on the channel. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.